this is Amy, and I'm back to read another story from the Bible. Remember, the Bible has two main parts, the Old Testament and the New Testament. The first book is Genesis. The second book is Exodus. Then we have Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. That's the first five, the Pentateuch. Now, this book skips some stories. Our last lesson was on God the Father, the Son, and the Spirit giving the 10 Commandments to Moses. What this skips is that when Moses comes back, are the people worshiping Yahweh? No. They made a golden calf, and they're all worshiping it and throwing a big giant party. And Aaron's like, give me your gold, I'll make a calf, and we'll just worship that statue I made. Then when Moses comes back, and he has the big tablets that God wrote the 10 Commandments on, honor me, you shall have no other gods before me, don't make an idol for yourself. And then he comes down after hanging out with God on the scary mountain with the fire and the clouds and the lightning. He comes back, and the people of Israel are throwing a wild party for a golden statue that they made from their jewelry. And you know what Moses does? He throws the tablets down because he's so mad, and they break apart. And he's like, what are you doing? And they're like, Aaron's like, I don't know. And then Moses has to go back up with God and write the 10 Commandments on a tablet himself. And because Israel doesn't trust God, they don't get to go straight to the land of Canaan. Remember that God promised to Abraham when he was Abram? Nope. They have to wander around in the desert for 40 years. Then they finally get right outside of Canaan, and Moses sends spies, 12 spies, and Joshua and Caleb are two of them, and there are 10 other ones. And they go in, and they're like, this is a really good land. God promised us a really good land with milk and honey and all this awesome stuff. And this is the land that God promised our people hundreds of years ago. Except right now, really big people live here, and they're really scary, and we can't beat them. And Joshua and Caleb are like, yeah, this is a really good land. It has milk, and it has honey, and it has these giant grapes we have to carry back on a stick because they're so big, and the people are giants. But our God is bigger than these giants, and our God can beat them. So let's go into Canaan. And all of the people of Israel were like, Joshua and Caleb, we don't believe you. We're going to go with those 10 other guys, and I don't think we can go into Canaan. And you know what? God was like, guess what, guys? You're going back to the desert. And none of the people who didn't trust me are going to go to Canaan. You're going to die when you're walking around in the desert, and your kids are going to go to Canaan, because I promised you that you could have Canaan, and I keep my word because of myself, not because of you guys. So that's what happened. And then Moses is like infinity years old by the time they come back around. So then they have to fight to get back in to the land of Canaan, and that's where we're going to go next. But that's probably it for now. Think about that. You can go, you can look in the Bible, you can talk about it with your parents. Have a great day.